Start stream.
The live guest on a podcast called J is for Justice.
I think there's just hope that she returns no matter what. Oh my God, that's Megan's house. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And then, wait a second, you guys. We have breaking news. All of a sudden, in the chat, there was breaking news that there was a raid going on in Houston, Texas. Is it maybe connected to a high-profile case?
That's her best friend. She would not be there.
Hey, Dre.
Hey.
What's happening?
Oh, nothing much. Just chilling on this fine Wednesday.
Yeah. How's the weather out in Colorado?
It's getting warmer, but it was really cold this morning. When I woke up, it was like 23 or 24 degrees out.
Ooh. And I thought the low 50s was chilly. Yeah.
It's cold.
We've been chilly down here in Florida, though. We've dipped down in the 40s at night.
That's
hey, Casey.
abnormal for y'all.
Hey, Casey Lou.
Hey, Casey. Oh, Casey Lou.
Casey Lou in the house. Juliet. April Dawn. What is up, my members? Janice. Hey, Nicola. Hey, Chrissy R. Thank you, Casey Lou. Hi, Angela. We're going to have we're going to do something different, I guess. Wait a minute. Why am I getting an error? Are we buffering?
Not for me.
Oh, good. Okay. It tells me that I'm buffering. It says pores.
Is it?
Yeah. What up, Muna? Muna? We got Netherlands in the house. Muna, where are you from? Because she said good evening.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Angela said it was 7 degrees. This morning.
Yeah, that's cold.
Okay, we're good.
I did all that.
Well, YouTube is telling me I have an error, but obviously they're the ones with the error today. Not me.
Yeah, the tubes.
The joke's on YouTube. Okay, so I wanted to do something a little different. I have this video I've been wanting to share. I just wasn't sure like when to do it, how to do it, what it really corresponded with. But I think with a lot of the discussions that we've been having about the Watts case, it might just kind of be in sync with that. And it's also interesting because the clip I'm going to play is from Dr. Phil. So I'm almost like definitely going to get struck on this.
Almost definitely.
Yeah, because that's just the nature of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
Scotland and London in the house, Canada. So I'm going to play it anyway because I really want you to see it and I want everyone else to see it. And I kind of want to give I want Dre to have like a reaction. This is kind of like our first go at like a reaction video, which we talked about doing on the 411 channel, like a reaction show, like weekly, which would be fun.
Yes. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to launch that.
Oh, me either. Melissa Y, I did get your email too, and I will get back with you. She says, after watching all the videos that we've been posting, they almost live a reality TV show. She documented their whole life. I'm sorry, that would make me crazy. They had no privacy in their life. Well, right, because her life was sales, was a sales pitch. So everything that went in those lives was a selling point, you could say, I guess.
Yeah. And he was quiet. He was like a wallflower.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Rosebud, it's kind of like a YouTube bot. They automatically, certain corporations are already like programmed in. So like, let's say like Sony Music. Sony Music has all their music already. I don't know how. My husband and I were discussing this last night. Like, how in the hell did they do it? But they have like everything where a bot picks it up immediately. Like right now, if I started playing a Metallica song, for example, Lily, kick rocks. Bye-bye. Give Lily a farewell. Bye-bye, Lily.
Bye, Lily. Have a great day.
Have a nice one. What was
Metallica though? Yes.
Yeah, so my video tonight shows part of the Metallica footage when they went to the Metallica concert. So yeah, after I uploaded it, I got a copyright that you know, the song was in there. It was Master of Puppets. So when you watch tonight, I had to replace the song with a YouTube song. I did the best I could. I tried to mimic Metallica and replace it with a semi-rock song, but you guys are going to laugh because
I'm dying to see it.
Dude, YouTube just doesn't have like Metallica kind of songs.
No.
That makes sense.
No. That brings a whole new level of content creator, Jay. Just so you know.
Well, just wait. Just wait. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Look at April. Loser Lily. Oh my goodness. Okay. So without further ado, I want to play this video and then I'm going to mute and let everyone watch. And then we're going to come back. We're going to get Dre's take on what she thinks. And then we will open up for comments.
Right.
Sound good?
Yes. I will go ahead and mute.
All right. Go ahead and mute. And then let's get this show on the road. See, as you can see, YouTube is telling me that I'm getting an error. See that? All right. Now, let me get this on here for you guys so you can see it. And we're going to watch this. Oh, this is Oprah. This is Oprah. I'll for sure get a strike. Okay, here we go. I sound like Fia. I've been around my granddaughter for 4 days. Here we go.
I'm excited to give you an update about our own YouTube channel. Now you
Okay. Okay. Well, one, I cringed the entire time as soon as she opened her mouth, like completely cringed. I mean, she was literally ridiculing every move he made, like how he holds his hands, how he walks, how he eats, how he talks, how he dresses. I mean, that is a lot for me. That's a lot. I mean, dude was trying to eat his dinner and she's like mean mugging him across the table. I can't digest my food. Like, oh. Yeah. There was a lot to it. I mean, he seems like he tries to appease her, and it looks like it makes her even more mad. I don't know. To me, you know what I mean? Like, there was one part where he's. Were you muted?
I was muted. Oh
no.
Okay, so yeah, so I was just basically, she was talking, so I was just asking what she noticed in the video.
Yeah.
You didn't really miss much. I wasn't saying much. So what else did you take away? Is that pretty much it? That this lady is just ridiculing the crap out of this guy. He can't do anything right, and he's fed up, but he doesn't say anything. He still goes along with her, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's sad because I mean, I couldn't imagine being in his shoes where it's like the moment you wake up, your entire life, you're under a microscope. And then the moment you fall, you know what I mean? Like the only peace this man has is when he's asleep.
Right, right. I wanna address chat for a second here. The only people I've seen mention Shanann are you guys in chat. I have not mentioned her name once in this live. So if you don't let me get to my point, you're assuming that I'm comparing this woman to Shanann, and that's not what I'm doing. So if you wait and hear me out, you guys are the ones putting her in it, not me.
Yeah, we didn't mention, I didn't say anything about Shanae.
Just FYI. So, no, good job, Dre. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I took away from it. But I took away something else. And that's where I bring the Watts case into this. Not because I think this woman is like Shanann. Because for all intents and purposes, I didn't see Shanann act like that in her videos. Okay?
No.
I did not see this extreme treatment of Chris in the videos. If I saw anything, it was more subtle. This lady's not subtle at all. Like, she's straight up telling him, you know, you're like a little kid. So, wow. Okay, Sharon, I'll help you out there. I mean, really? So anyway, I'm bringing the Watts case in like this. I thought it was great that it was Dr. Phil who is the one that is brought in for his professional opinion, right?
Yeah.
And the reaction of the people, now this is 20 years ago, but the reaction of the people in the audience and the reaction of Dr. Phil is what makes me cringe.
Yeah.
They all laugh.
Like, it's funny to see this man get beat down.
They all
verbally.
laugh. Okay? But now let's fast forward to the year 2019 when the Ruseks went on Dr. Phil. There was no mention of the home life, right? But we do know that the home life was demeaning. You could see there was at least subtle. You have to agree to a certain degree that there was subtle demeaning.
Yeah.
And you know what? She says it and he says it. She says, I'm the dominant one. I wear the,
Well,
I mean, she wore the pants. So saying that there's subtle dominance there is not really disputable, in my opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I mean, the other thing is too, that I'd like to point out, and I hope people listening can see that you and I look at this on more of like a psychological aspect.
Mm-hmm.
After looking into this case and seeing other cases or seeing social media and how people treat each other, I have seen my own flaws now. I'm more awake to some of the things that I may do wrong in my marriage with my husband. So it's not that I would ever demean Shanann. She didn't deserve what happened to her. It was horrible.
Mm-hmm. I
But
agree.
when you look at something like a case like this, you want to know, why did it happen?
Right, because this didn't explode overnight. This did not happen overnight just because of this 6-week affair.
Exactly. And it's like, how do you prevent something from this happening again?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you look at it from a psychological aspect. You want to go back in time and see, where did things possibly go wrong? What could have they done better? What could Chris have done better? What could he have seen? What could have she said? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, when you start delving into their past, you start seeing things you can relate to them with. And that's where I've seen some of my flaws, you know?
Right.
So it's more of a psychological factor of this case, not, oh, let's bash this deceased woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the goal here.
Learn from it.
Yeah.
Learn from it. These things happen all the time. This isn't the first and it won't be the last, unfortunately. But I do feel like every time I go live, I need a disclaimer to preface, no one deserves to be murdered. It's common sense. No one deserves to be murdered for any reason. I don't think we should have to say that.
No.
But it's okay to analyze. And if you don't like analyzing, you're in the wrong chat.
Yeah, you're watching the wrong live.
You're on the wrong channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fill you with fluff, but we're going to talk about it. And if you're interested in this case, you will also be open to talking about it. So I want to talk more about this Dr. Phil, and I want to respond to Sadie. She says, don't you feel if SW and CW were on Dr. Phil together, that they would have done the same thing? Dr. Phil was focused on the murders. And again, it was sweeps, correct? What's sweeps?
Yeah.
What's sweeps mean?
The sweeps part, I don't know.
Well, I feel like Dr. Phil if he is who he says he is, and he's a stand-up counselor, that he wouldn't laugh at this behavior, because we all know what can end from this behavior. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that guy could have easily killed that woman. Snap.
Or she could have killed him.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there, that is so extreme. It's like that could end very badly. And the fact that they're all laughing about it, it made me cringe. Because I think that it shows too how society viewed that, at least at that time. I mean, they all thought it was ridiculous, but they laughed. And I don't think that guy thought any of this was funny.
No. I mean, you put yourself in his shoes and have to go through that every day. I don't see it as funny. I'm just sitting there like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Like,
yeah, I mean, that guy's got to feel like, you know, the dirt on the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah. And the moment he wakes up, he knows she's right over there getting ready to ridicule him. Like, oh, you snored loud or you moved loud. You know what I mean? Like,
don't sweat at night. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's something that you can control, you know? It's
exactly.
Like he wanted her to change things that were out of his control. And that leads to absolute frustration.
Yeah.
Because how can you change something that you can't control?
Exactly.
And, you know,
like
that's
how you walk.
Well, and that's why people with anxiety like myself, we get anxiety like when things are out of our control, right? So if we're in like maybe an environment that we don't have control over, we might get anxious and feel like we need like fight or flight. We need to get out of that situation or whatever is giving us that anxiety and that feeling. I feel like that guy must have lived that anxiety 24/7.
Yeah.
Even at night. Couldn't even go to bed and relax. So.
Exactly.
Oh, it's okay, Michigan gal. I just wanted to explain. I mean, no one here, at least that comes on my panel, ever believes that anybody deserves to be murdered, no matter what they do. No one has the right to take another's life. And I don't think we should have to say that every time. And that's all I was saying.
Yeah, and just by us watching a Dr. Phil video, some people came in and thought we were bashing Shanann. Like, they clearly missed the narrative there.
Right. I mean, I just said Watts case discussion. Are you controlling? I mean, I've reflected on myself and the way that I talk to my husband.
Yeah.
I've done it. I mean, I'm not.
Oh, I've caught myself doing it, girl.
And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, it's really brought me to a different level of understanding how you treat your guy really affects your entire relationship. It really does. It really does. I mean, us as women, we always think, you know, we're the ones that need to be like pampered and we do, you know, like we do deserve that, but they deserve it in their own way. Like they don't want to be pampered like we are, but they deserve that. And that shows, you know, the love and respect from us to them. It's just a different way. And I think it goes both ways in learning what makes each other tick. It's not just men who need to figure out women. But I think the responsibility lies on a woman just as much, you know, to figure out your guy. And what makes him feel good and what makes him feel important in the relationship.
And he gets that recognition.
Look at Casey.
You recognize.
Casey's.
What's she say?
She says, Jay says, Georgia dog, take them boots off, honey. You ain't in Georgia anymore.
You ain't it. I can hear her saying that, which is.
Melissa Y says, I used to be in a marriage that I was afraid to even close the shower curtain.
Oh, that's sad.
It's very sad. I'm sorry that you went through that, but it sounds like you got out of that. Used to be. That's good.
He was so controlling. See, and that's what I'm saying. You're going to see it on both sides. It's not just a female or male thing. You know what I mean? But I feel like in today's society, some of us women don't have that respect for men like we should in our marriages. You know what I mean? With social media presence, raising kids, we have jobs, like, you know what I mean?
We've kind of been raised in a society though, where the whole women's lib took over, and then it went like it's very extreme, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm all for equality, don't get me wrong, but you know, I also am a traditionalist, so I see things a little bit differently. And maybe that's why when I see like the social media videos of that case, it cringes me, because it's like, I'd rather be hanging out with my kids and my husband, you know what I mean, than be constantly doing things.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be time for family.
And I think that's where the whole MLM conversation comes in, is that these MLMs are very demanding of people's time. Because if they're not live posting, or their people aren't live or posting, they're not going to make any money. Right?
True. Yeah.
They have to be constantly reminding people and in their face, or they're not going to sell anything.
Very true. Yeah. There's that pressure of getting that sales in and making your mark each month.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the videos of the Thrive conventions. Look at how many promoters are signed up. So it's pretty competitive on social media for a lot of these people that are signed up. They're all selling the same stuff. So it requires a lot of time. And I think that's where those MLMs are just they're not good. They're not good.
Yeah.
What is she talking about?
Same goes for YouTubers. I have no idea.
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh,
no, I'm glad that
is she talking about maybe like YouTubers spending too much time on the tubes and not with their families?
Yeah, that could be.
Is working from home really a dream job when you can't leave the stress at work? True.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Hey, Ken Dalton. Nice to see you. Amy P says, it's interesting because I'm in the opposite position. My husband is the one who's extremely social and takes pictures and videos all the time. I'm like, get out of my face with that already. Hey, Ashwani from Malaysia. Wow. We got someone from Malaysia in chat.
That's pretty neat.
That's really neat. Yeah, working from home sucks. It's hard to stay on task when you work from home.
It is, yeah.
Thank you, Veronica. You want to read Snuggle Bunny?
Okay, yeah, I was trying to scroll up. It says, y'all are absolutely right. In my opinion, this comes from social media, keeping up with the Joneses, so to speak. And most of it is, Lord. So women have to have that constant validation from strangers. It's true. It's keeping up with the Joneses. It's keeping that family dynamic going. And there's so much presence though on social media nowadays.
I wonder how many hours you have to really put into an MLM to make any kind of money.
Yeah, that is actually a very interesting question. Cause I mean, if from what it sounds like too, it took a while to get a lot of your commission. You know what I mean? So you're talking hours and hours and hours of going out and selling and getting your people in and getting those numbers.
Casey, I have an answer for this one. She says, but did he really think his marriage was great? Maybe it was only great because he didn't know any different until he met NK. Now, part of me would agree with that, but I don't think that he was happy those times when he supposedly, I know he could have, but he was told not to contact his family. I listened to the confession again last night. Terrible. I fell asleep listening to the 5-hour confession. But he does state in there that it was killing him when she was in North Carolina and got into the fight, you know, Nutgate happened, and he couldn't talk to his parents, or, you know, he was told not to for those like 3 weeks. He didn't talk to them until he got out there. And his father had taken the whole week. This is all in this video. I never heard this before. His father had taken the whole week off work to spend with Chris and Shanann and the girls. And when he got there, Shanann made a 5-day beach trip and invited her parents. And they all went to the beach. So Ronnie just took that time off for nothing. And then like Chris saw him like those last 2 days or whatever. So anyway, he said in there, you know, like it killed him to not talk to his dad. He definitely should have spoken up. Absolutely. But that's what we need to learn from this. Like, do we really need to like put our husbands in a position where they need to speak up and they're scared to speak up? I mean, what does one do to make their husband afraid of them? And if you're doing something that makes your husband or your wife afraid of you, you might need to rethink how you're treating them.
Yeah.
You know, because there was also a 2-year gap where he didn't, thank you, Almond Brown, where he didn't talk to his family for 2 years after the wedding. Or no, I'm sorry, Kim corrected me on that. It was like 9 months after the wedding. And then when she got pregnant with Bella, she must have said, okay, we can talk or whatever. So he called his parents and brought them back into their lives with the announcement that Shanann's pregnant with Bella. So there were gaps where he was told, you know, don't call them, don't do anything with them. And he listened because that was his wife. And he actually said in that interview as well that he felt terrible and guilty for how he spoke to his family at those times. He cussed his mother out and he felt guilty for that. And he said, you know, his dad was always cool. That's what he said. My dad was always cool. He's like me. He just, you know, kind of chills out and he's in the background and he doesn't get worked up about stuff. But the women were all getting worked up.
It's just so sad. And I mean, yeah, I've seen some comments where people were like, well, he could have easily just picked up the phone and called. But how much backlash would he have faced if he went against his spouse?
Yeah, I mean, that's his wife. And I know that I've been in that position where I've said, you know what? I'm your wife. You know, me and the kids come first. I've been there. I had issues with my in-laws in my first marriage. I definitely did. It wasn't pretty. And I didn't tell my ex-husband he couldn't speak to his family, but he chose not to for a long time, for many years. And his dad passed away. Oh, his dad passed away in that time. And it was horrible. I mean, my kids never got like birthday cards from them. My kids were basically like non-existent for 10 years.
Oh,
yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. So I get it. I've been in the middle of these dynamics. I really have. So, you know, back to this video, I think it's very inappropriate and irresponsible of Oprah and Dr. Phil to laugh at this video.
To make a mockery. Yeah.
I mean, talk about
making a mockery of this guy's life.
Well, right. I mean, like the guy is already feeling low, right? So they bring him on the show and then they all laugh. I don't know.
It's just that, but it's eye-opening though, because it's like, when do we as a society become acceptant of this type of behavior towards others? You know, because we're taught at a young age to not bully each other.
I know.
You know, and then it's you form a marriage with someone and then a form of bullying is happening and we're on national TV making a mockery of it, you know? So it's like, where do we as society wake up and say, you know, maybe I shouldn't be laughing at this person. Maybe I should actually support them, help them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just sad. You know, where some people say, oh, it's okay that this person acted this way. You know what I mean? To me, it's a sad, sad situation, but it's very eye-opening to see something like Dr. Phil and Oprah, you know, talking about problems in a marriage. You know, we turn to them as experts.
I found that just that video is pretty profound to me.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of people in chat talking about this. My husband doesn't talk to his father or mother because they made fun of me and his late wife so many times.
Oh. That's so sad.
Melissa says, I was in the same situation. I'm so strong-willed and my marriage was so controlling. My mom didn't even come to my rehearsal dinner and she paid for my wedding. It's hard to get out when someone controls you and you're scared.
Wow.
And what about, you know, when you have little children involved?
That changes it completely.
I think too the dynamics between yeah, Drake, can you Google this couple and see if they're still together? Everyone's asking.
What was his last? I know his name was John, right?
Let's see. It's John and Rochelle. It doesn't say their last name in the description. Wow, I'm looking at some of the comments. People are laughing, but this is abuse. If roles were reversed, there would be silence and deep concern. Is that not the truth? If that was a woman being treated like that by a man, if that was John treating Rochelle that way, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Do you think anybody would have been laughing?
Oh no, there would have been a mob after his ass.
Hell yeah. Okay, so she says that it's a shame because there are women who would cherish a man like this. Let's see. What? She is talking to him like a child. I hope he left her in the dust. I'm going to guess that marriage didn't last. If a man behaved this way towards his wife, they would be calling him a controlling monster. I hope he left. That woman is toxic and dangerous. These are women. I hope she never had kids. They would have been miserable. Jesus Christ, I want to save this guy. She is revolting. I want to change everything about him. Why in the hell did he marry her? Why did she marry him? Doesn't sound like anything about him. He is a fool for staying with her. Honestly, he is just as at fault because he doesn't stand up for himself. It's pathetic. I agree. She is abusive. So many nice guys end up with women like this. Mental and emotional abuse of men by women is not talked about, but it's heartbreaking. Why doesn't this narcissistic woman change herself? Unbelievable. God, she's obnoxious. I can't believe he married her in the first place. I really wonder if they're still married since this was 19 years ago. I hope he either divorced or she changed her ways because this is miserable. These rules are even too much for a child, let alone a grown man. She literally gives him zero room to be himself.
Wow. It's true.
And you know, it's funny because I was listening again last night to the 5-hour confession, and that's stuck in my head because I just listened to it. I probably dreamt about it, for God's sakes. But he said, when he was talking about Nikki and what he liked about the relationship and how it made him feel, he said how anxious he was at home. How on edge he was, and he just couldn't be himself. But when he was with Nikki, he could be himself.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. I could just be myself. That's all he wanted, was to just be himself. He wanted, you know, he went and did things that he enjoyed with her. He went camping for the first time, and he loved it. He was on a high of being himself, and I'm not excusing it. So before someone says, well, he didn't need to kill her or kill his family, we know that. But we're talking about what led up to the triple murder. So, oh, Sadie says, my sister is like this with her husband and me too. I've learned to gray rock her.
Wow.
Look at, see, there's asking for real. Then leave. Don't kill. Excuses. No one's making excuses. Miss Claus. You just have to remember, you know, how it feels to be in a relationship. And I'm not saying that any of this should have happened. Like, oh, she deserved it. Give me a break. Give me a break. See, but Pink Poodle, we don't all want to be like equals like that. You know what I mean? Like, I love a man opening a door for me. I think it's very respectful and very gentlemanlike. I love that. I love the door being open for me when I get in the car by my husband. I love that.
Oh, me too.
It's so respectful. And, you know, I don't think that that is a bad thing. So my views may be a little different than some people in here.
And like, we don't have to agree on everything, but maybe take, instead of with all the noise of, well, this is excuses, you're blaming a murder victim, maybe take the time and the initiative to actually hear what we're saying or click out and look at your life.
Mm-hmm.
I did, and I saw flaws.
Yep.
I mean, the night that we were live with Sam and Rollo, I'm sitting there like, man, I could have done this better. You know what I mean? It's like,
there's nothing wrong with self-improvement. There's nothing wrong at looking within yourself and saying, you know, is there something that, you know, are there things that I do that might be disrespectful or make, you know, my husband or my wife feel a certain way?
Exactly. It's self-improvement, like you said, and it's taking initiative to own your flaws.
It does. I mean, my first marriage, you know, I've done so much reflecting. I divorced in 2011, so it's been like 9 years. And this is something I've never even admitted to a friend, okay? I've done a lot of reflecting because my marriage ended very suddenly because of infidelity on his side. But over these 9 years, I went from very angry. It took me a long time to get over that anger because that is so sudden and like shocking to your system after 15 years that you're just like, whoa, especially when you never thought this person had it in him. Right? My ex-husband was very shy, quiet, except when he would drink. He'd get more talkative when he would drink. Thank you, Mish. But I have to admit, I was a nitpicking wife. Now, were there things that he did that were annoying and were some of the things like drinking beer every day? I didn't like that. I didn't want that around my children. So that was a big thing for us. But as far as that goes, you know, it's like you have something like that that's nagging at you, and then you nag on everything. Sam Bada, men marry because they want, I can't remember what he said, something like they want to have sex with someone who is completely into them, and they think they're going to have like this crazy mad sex forever, right?
Exactly. Anytime when they want it, you know what I mean? Like,
it's sex-based, right?
Yeah.
Look at Serge. Serge said, my wife loves to say, I don't need a man. See, I've said that myself. I've
said it when I was mad.
Yeah,
when I'm in the moment.
In the moment. Yes. Not like seriously, but
yeah, in the heat of the moment, I've said it before, but then it's like I've dealt with 2 deployments where he was gone for more than half a year, and it's like, oh my God. That's when you realize, like, I start noticing my flaws. You know what I mean? Then this case comes up. It's like, I gotta change.
Does she say it when she's mad, Serge? If she's saying it when she's mad, that's pretty typical. I don't need no man for this. Oh, I've gotten like irritated with my husband. Like if I said, you know, can you hang this up for me? And it like sits and sits and sits and sits for like weeks. And then I finally like get out the stuff and start doing it myself. And he's like, oh, babe, I'll get that. And I'm like, no, you know what? It's been sitting for 2 weeks. I don't need no man. I got this. But I say it in the meeting, in the moment. She's crazy about him and enthusiastic and wanting only him. So when we start making comments like, I don't need a man, that's a turnoff, right, Sam? And I saw somebody say about the sex, like, no thanks. See, I don't feel that way in my marriage. I did in my first marriage. I was like, ugh. Like having sex was like a chore. It just wasn't there. We just weren't.
There was, you guys were not.
We just weren't compatible. You know, we got married very young and we changed from 21 to 31. You know, it was like you change so much as a person that, you know, you grow up, and it's just, it's weird. And that's why I wouldn't recommend that people get married so young. I think that, you know, 25 and up is a good age, but I think I was just way too young.
Girl, I agree. I got married at 8. I was barely 18 and got married.
Yeah.
I thought I had my whole life figured out.
Well, and we had 3 kids too, you know, we had 3 kids. So I had 3 kids, under the age of 5, you know?
Yeah.
So sex is not really on your list of things to do when you're exhausted. So I get that. When your kids are little, I think the sex life does suffer. Happy anniversary, Snuggle Bunny.
Oh, 20th anniversary. That's awesome.
I'm waiting for Sam. I bet he's typing away. If it is a chore now and wasn't before that, it just means you need to spice things up unless there's deeper stuff going on. Well, yeah, by the time we figured it all out, he had an affair. So yes, leave her the Rational Male audiobooks, and books are the only way a man will fix himself. I don't know what he's responding to. My cousin always said, I don't need a man. You got to make them think you don't need them. She's been through guy after guy. You know, Sam is typing away. Bite me, you are very lucky. She said, I was 19 and it's been an amazing 15 years. I mean, I'm not saying that happens with everybody, but you do change between 20 and 30 a lot. And for those that it lasted, I commend you, because it's hard. It's hard.
It is.
Oh, I know it's his book. I asked him something and I thought he was answering. I didn't understand. Sorry. Leave MRS. I don't need a man. What? Yeah, it's constant work. And I think that's what we lose sight of, especially when we're young. We don't realize that it takes work. We just think it's just going to work out, you know, like,
oh yeah,
you just go in being you, and
like it's a Disney like fairy tale. You know what I mean?
Oh, he said, leave, Mrs. I don't need a man. You go through every emotion possible when you are married this long. It is not easy by any means. I can imagine. You know, my parents were married 65 years. And I don't know how they did it, because they didn't make it look hard. My parents never fought in front of us. I never saw, never. Like, my mom might make, you know, a comment or something, or he might make a comment, but I never saw them argue, ever. And they had 6 children. 5 girls. Oh, wow. 5 girls and 1 boy. And I never saw them argue. I never knew when my parents weren't getting along. There was never silent treatments. There was never any of that. Any of these crazy dynamics that I've experienced in my relationships. And I wonder why, you know?
That's amazing though. That is the like quintessential marriage that I see. You know what I mean?
Right,
like that I want with Steve, you know?
Mm-hmm. And they lost a daughter in a car accident, and they made it through that. I never saw my parents struggle. If they had struggles, it was all like kept internally. Like they kept it between them. Yeah, and party all the time. Hell no, my parents went and played like euchre and poker, or not poker, but my dad played poker, but my mom played bridge. You know, it was just they had a different generation and a different upbringing, and they did things together. They were on like co-ed golf leagues together.
Aw.
They were on bowling leagues together, but they were also doing their own thing. They were on their own golf leagues. My mom was on a women's league. My dad was on a men's league. They had their together time, but they also had their separate time. And I think that's so important, to let your partner be themselves and have their own, be individuals. Like you and I have talked about this before. It's so important to be an individual, but also to be a couple.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to know when to separate your time and allow each other, you know what I mean?
That
Your
space. Yes.
Yeah. But you also need to set aside time for your family. Like it's so weird to me. I don't see a lot of families these days that sit at the dinner table and enjoy dinner together and unplug everything and just actually get personal with your spouse and children. You know, it's like the traditions are almost non-existent.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that they had a very well-balanced marriage. I'm sure it wasn't perfect, but it was well-balanced and it worked, and they didn't give up on one another. And I see so many couples give up on one another.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It really is crazy, because someone just said love is all you need. And really, I mean, if you truly love that person, I don't think you'll treat them, unless you have weird dynamics from how you were raised, you know, and like this woman on Dr. Phil, obviously she comes from some deep rooted family issues. This probably goes back to her childhood somehow, this major controlling woman. Something had to have happened. So she brought this baggage into her marriage with this guy. And it wouldn't have mattered if it was this guy. He just happened to put up with it. It would have been any guy, because this woman just straight up has issues. But someone said in chat, they're still married, and she's still working on herself. Last update was 2018.
I was going to say, I saw something from 9 years ago and then 2018. So yeah, they're still married. And I hope that she has changed her ways and treated him better and allowed him to have a voice, and he's speaking up now.
Maybe we should all email Dr. Phil's show and tell him we want an update on John and Rochelle.
Right.
And maybe if he gets enough emails, he'll have them back on. Because I would love to see how they are with each other now.
I know, me too. But no,
look at this comment on the video of this clip. Justin Hill. I'm shocked they didn't show up on 48 Hours. She's insane.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
Yeah, everyone on these comments too. Where are they now? Where's the rest of this episode? I want to see Dr. Phil's comebacks on Rochelle. I wonder if you can find the full episode.
I know.
I wonder if they had children.
Ooh, yeah.
See, it's funny that, not funny, but it's ironic that all the people in that audience laughed, but none of these comments, think this is funny.
No.
These people are all just disgusted. And the difference is, and I'm not comparing this woman to Shanann, but the difference with watching this clip versus watching Shanann's videos is that we already know the outcome of Chris and Shanann's marriage. That's the sad thing.
Yeah.
Is that we're talking about something that we already know the ending, right?
Yeah.
So, Michelle Cologne says, is this her husband or her son? Unreal.
That's her husband.
Yeah, so I wonder too if John's mom, was a controlling person, micromanaged her household for him to, even consider staying in something like that. Because, before they got married, she was like that.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't just form these habits overnight.
I think you're absolutely right. It could even be something from the childhood that you mold yourself into, kind of like generational trauma. You know what I mean? When you're in a negative environment, you're going to display or subject others to that negativity.
Yep. Or maybe it's a fact where like she couldn't do anything right in her childhood. You know, maybe she was belittled as a young child growing up. Sam says belittling sons destroys the son. Agree. So that brings me back to Watts. And I want to go back to when, you know, he didn't talk to his family, because I saw some comments in chat where people were saying, well, you know, he could have called them. He could have spoke up, blah, blah, blah. But don't you think that he was totally in the middle? And I'm not saying like his mom controlled him, but it seems like Chris just looked to someone to tell him what to do, right?
Yeah.
Just like, okay, I go back to the 5-hour interview because I just watched it again last night. He said when they asked him about prison, they were like, oh, are you scared? You know, like, would you be scared to come back to Colorado? And he was like, well, you know, it was pretty crazy there. There's a lot of, you know, and I heard in the Bureau of Prisons, there's a lot of gang activity and stuff like that. He said that he heard it was getting to be like California. So, then they asked, you know, how is it here at Dodge? And he said, you know, it's decent. I hear this is like a decent place to be. And they're like, oh, okay. Do they come down here and escort you back? And he says, yeah. And they said, oh, okay. And he says, yeah, you can't walk around by yourself. He says, pretty much they tell me what to do and I just do it. That's Chris. I think that's been Chris his whole life. So here he is like this, like Gumby being pulled in both directions in the middle, right? He's being pulled like by Shanann, his wife, and he's being pulled by his family. They both want him to do certain things, and he doesn't know what the hell to do.
It's just crazy to see that, though. You know, when you think about this case, you don't go to that psychological factor of what they both had to go through, him and Shanann. You know what I mean? Like how she was as a spouse and how he was as a spouse. So when you're hearing him in the confession, it's like, oh my gosh, you know, you start picking up on those things.
Oh, I heard like so much last night that I never heard before.
Yeah. I bet you did.
Like I every time. Yes. Because it's so much. I mean, you can't possibly sit there and listen to someone talk for 5 hours and absorb everything.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. Sam says Rolo calls it being zeroed out when a guy is treated that way in a marriage. Yeah. You can't zero out your husband.
No.
He could have said his piece to his family so he didn't have to carry that in his marriage. Then it's up to them on how they act, in my opinion. You know, I would have to know more about how things went down. You know what I mean? We hear two stories, and somewhere in the middle is where the truth lies.
Yeah.
There's 3 sides to every story. His side, her side, and what really happened.
Exactly.
So somewhere in the middle is what really happened. No, he didn't come on Saturday night. She wrote to Chris saying he could talk to his family. He was a big boy. He could do what he wanted. But you know what? At that point, if I was him, I'm just saying, like, and I got a letter from my wife that I was already just done. I was just done and over it. And I get this letter saying, you know what? You can talk to your family. Like, that right there tells me there's definitely something wrong if she's got to turn around and give her permission. Like,
exactly. Yes.
Oh, so he's supposed to be like, oh, thank you. No, he was fed up by that point. Like, he's gonna bow down and be like, oh my God, she's gonna let me talk to my family. I've got to stay in this marriage. Like, that is why I need to stay. This is gonna change. It just, I think it got so far out of hand.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it just, I mean, you got to think they were married for years at this point, already 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
how far downhill did this go?
Well,
Where she was controlling the, the narrative of his parents and him having a relationship.
well, controlling the narrative of everything. I mean, he was on a strict schedule of what he had to do. Now, yes, he did, Mickey. He allowed it to. Absolutely. But he was still given instruction. Whether he followed it or not, we need to stop giving our husbands instructions like they're a child.
Yeah.
We need to stop worrying about ourselves getting extra sleep, and our man who's getting up to go to work at 4 a.m. is getting the kids' backpacks ready. There's just give and take. And I think that people need to be mindful of what they're taking and what they're giving.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing all the taking, you might have a one-sided marriage. I'm not a marriage counselor, but I'm just saying what I've read, what I've observed is this. It's just a good discussion to have, I think.
Yeah. Well, and I told you from the jump, girl, I have problems in my marriage that I'm seeing now because of this case that I didn't realize I talked to my husband like that, or my expectations, why should I have expectations and he can't?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you start to realize like, wow, well, I expect this.
Yeah.
Why do I expect so much? But I don't think that should be expected of me.
Exactly.
Yeah. It takes a lot to look within yourself. It really does. I think it takes a very strong person to look inside themselves and be able to pick flaws out about themselves and things that they can change. Just like I think it takes a big person to admit when they're wrong.
Yeah.
When you're wrong, or you admit to lying. I think it takes a tremendous person to admit those things.
Exactly. And Angela's asking, have you addressed these things? I have with my spouse. We've had many months of this conversation with this case. And, because he deployed for almost 9 months, that time right there, I'm sitting here in this house thinking about all the things that I'm missing out on and he's missing out on. And it's like, between this case and that deployment, oh my gosh, yeah, when he came back, our marriage is completely different now than what it was a year ago.
Here, I want to address this. I moved too fast. He watched his mother control his father for years, then control him. Now, I don't know the Watts personally. I've never witnessed their dynamics as a couple. Only what I've seen on Shanann's videos, and they were only in a few. It didn't look like, I mean, I didn't see Cindy being controlling, but I haven't seen their dynamics up front and close and up front like we have Shanann and Chris's. But I will say that if Ronnie was controlled like Chris was in his marriage, I don't think Ronnie would have been the one flying out to Colorado when the girls and Shanann were still quote unquote missing. I feel like if Ronnie was controlled, that wouldn't have been his role. I think Ronnie is definitely treated as the man in the relationship. I do.
Yeah.
I don't know them well enough to say she's overbearing. I think in the case of her not liking Shanann, that there were some red flags that she saw in the beginning. And she was very outspoken about those red flags because her son was about to get married. And there were things that she saw that just weren't adding up to her. And she voiced those. And maybe she shouldn't have. Maybe she should have let her son be a grown man and explore his own options and fall down and make mistakes. I don't know. In hindsight, I don't know what she thinks either. I mean, this is all hindsight, what we're talking about. I certainly didn't think this when I first saw this case.
Yeah.
I didn't think this deep about it when I first saw this case. But can you imagine? I'm sure that his mother is reliving since she gave birth to Chris. Her entire life with Chris, her son. and what led him to be in prison for the rest of his life. I mean, she's got to be just guilt-ridden herself, wondering if there was anything she could have done different. I don't understand why everybody's so hard on her.
I don't either. I try to, and that's one thing too, is you always got to put yourself in someone else's shoes.
You do. You have to at least try to.
Yeah. And I think everybody is hurting. You know what I mean? From this case, both sides, every family member is in pain and suffering, and to bash her and Ronnie and Chris's sister. I mean, it's so sad to see both sides in suffering. To me, it's not right.
Michelle says, I have a sister-in-law that not only controls my brother, she controls all of us. We can't even sit at the family table, without her telling us who sits where. Some people are just that way. I have a hard time with some people are just that way.
Yeah.
Because really, I mean, if she controls your entire family, like, you guys are allowing her to control your entire family. See, and that's the thing. No one wants to stand up to a bully. People like that are bullies. They're intimidating. Yeah. They're intimidating to the point where you just go along with it. And no one should ever have to go along as a grown person with anything that they don't necessarily want to do. Right?
Yeah, no, it's very true.
Chrissy says, everyone can say, if my kids did this, I'd act a certain way. Guess what? You don't know how you will respond. True. See, Little Miss says, oh, hell nah. I wouldn't put up with that. I wouldn't be at their family get-togethers. See, and some people are stronger than others, where they say, you know what? Screw that noise. I don't need this. I don't need to be treated like that. I don't even want to be around it. It's bad juju to be around people that are so intense like that. It just, to me, it sucks all the energy out of the room when I'm around someone like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I just feel deflated. I can't take it.
I get embarrassed when there's people out there like that, because it's like, do you see yourself making a fool in front of everybody? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you look like a fool in front of everyone.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Be humble. You have food on your plate. You know?
Right.
Like,
right. Be thankful.
Yeah.
Michelle says, exactly. I haven't seen my brother in many years because of her. See, and that's where it's affecting you and your family, is your strained relationship with your brother. So in a way, you're kind of like the Watts family. You're estranged from your brother because of his marriage. Whether it's right or wrong, Cynthia, we know it's not an excuse to kill anyone. See, that deflates me. See, that takes all the energy out of the chat.
Yeah. Because we've said it like 4 times.
I know. It's like
he should have gotten a divorce, and he could have taken that route, but he didn't. And
well, they were on the path.
Yeah.
They were definitely on the path. And I think that something really interesting was put in my lap. And it's about the GPS, NA's GPS. And we're going to talk about that more in Patreon. But there's an address on that GPS that
oh yeah,
adds up to something that we never knew and never thought. So we'll be discussing that in Patreon very soon. But we know that there was a separation in the works. I honestly think that it might have started before the 6-week. That North Carolina trip might have been the beginning of a like trial separation type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the families out there knew that they were separating. NA said in the 911 call that Shanann found out while she was in North Carolina they were separating. So we know it didn't just come up that night of the murder.
No, it was way before that.
Yeah. Shanann was looking at rental houses. Chris was looking at apartments. He was looking at, talking about getting bunk beds. He had changed his work schedule to accommodate a 50-50 visitation. I mean, there were things. They were talking to a realtor to put the house on the market. And they had no money to put those kids in Primrose.
Mm-mm. And Mickey Barnes, what she just said, looking back through all of her Facebook lives, I feel like it was at the end of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling you that, Jay, what, a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like their marriage was crumbling towards the end of 2017.
Yep. And he even said that in his interrogation, that for about a year, he started to feel a breakdown in the marriage.
Yeah.
And that would be roughly about a year after she started Thrive. You know, I think that the numerous trips, and we talked about this in the premiere last night. She said in the trip to Toronto, she went by herself without Chris. He was at home with the girls. And she said in that trip to Toronto, it's so much fun, you guys. There's no training. There's no schedule. We're just here, you know, mingling and da 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 da. So it's not like they were necessarily quote unquote working. It's not like they were in workshops learning how to sell, doing role reversal, role playing activities, team building. There was nothing like that going on. It wasn't team building. It was, let's stay at this luxurious hotel that we can't really afford, and let's all mingle with one another and watch videos on the new Thrive product that's getting ready to come out. And then we get to buy all of our products while we're here. Because they got to buy the Duo. They were in Toronto. God, girl, I could write a book on this damn case. They were in Toronto, and they were rolling out the Duo. That was the new thing. So they were able to purchase the Duo while they were on this trip. So not only does this MLM get them all there spending money on this trip, but they also get them there to purchase their product.
See, I didn't know that about the Duo, that it was Toronto.
Yeah, it was Toronto. Because Chris Miller is there, and that's when he gets his $12K and he gets his car allowance.
Oh, he got his in Toronto?
Yes, and his wife was at home as well. So, you know, a lot of people in chat last night were like, you know, I don't think I'd like watching my husband partying with another woman that he's close to while I'm at home with kids. I can't imagine Chris really liked seeing that either. Because I know there was one girl that was new to Thrive that went on one of these trips, and she thought that Chris Miller was her husband.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she made a comment on.
My God.
Kim has the screenshot. She made a comment when Shanann announced that she was pregnant, and she commented underneath her thing and said, "I knew it was that leopard dress that night." Speaking of the Thrive trip to New Orleans, where Shanann was by herself, but Chris Miller was there by himself too, and they were always together. So this girl commented, "I knew it was that leopard dress." Oopsies. Thinking like, oh, you got pregnant on that night. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I knew you looked hot in that dress. So she didn't really know Shanann. She just assumed this was her husband. So this whoopsie comment went on Facebook, but someone had a screen grab of it.
Oh my gosh.
I want to read what Frank said. He says, I have a theory because I've recently had my oldest son get married. He and I are very close, and my daughter and husband are. Until he met his now wife, I was his closest person. Until he met the one. Well, I think that as a dad, you might have to take a back seat to the one. I mean, this is going to be his partner for life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to take second fiddle, you know, to the wife. He's going to be busy with his spouse. But I think that it's important, too, to keep that relationship and do things that you two enjoy doing together. Just like Chris and Ronnie, you know, he said he went to NASCAR growing up. All the time with his dad. Those were good memories for him, and he wanted to share those same memories with his girls. But he was told that those girls would not go to NASCAR races. So, I mean, what do you do in a situation like that? I mean, he should have gotten out. He should have gotten out. Because
No, I fully agree.
those girls, you know, they should have experienced things their dad likes too.
Yeah, well, and they should see that side of his tradition and upbringing and what was, you know, his favorite things to do with his dad and his mom. I mean, when he was talking about his grandma, even, you know, going over to her house and she would make different German meals. Like the girls needed to see that side of his family tradition.
Yes, it's
And
important.
it wasn't really allowed. Yeah.
Sam says, what man would stay with a woman that goes on those trips? I
Yeah.
just don't feel
Good
like
question.
married people should put themselves in predicaments like that, especially when you have small children. I feel like those are very slippery slopes. And I just don't feel like married people should put themselves into partying situations like that. You know, where you're out of state, I know marriage is based on trust, but there's just respect. This is my opinion. I mean, I don't know, Dre, you might have a different opinion. I know you guys don't have kids. So you might have a different opinion on that, but I just feel like there's certain situations that might be a little, you know, where there's drinking and you're in a hotel and, you know, your spouse is at home and it's just not a good mix.
No, it's not at all. I don't agree to it. But then again, like I said, I'm different. You know, I come from a different background and I hate bringing up military again, but being military, your family is everything, especially when you're separated from, you know, your childhood memories. Like I lived in Germany and Italy, you know what I mean? So I value family.
Yeah, me too.
So I can't leave him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, a few days is like enough, you know?
Yeah, even one day is a lot for me.
Michelle Grant says, leaving your man to himself for 5 weeks is a no-no in the first place. Absolutely. Allison, I'm not saying she cheated. I don't know why you said that, not me. Tarot readings by Roxby says, Jay, I totally agree. My husband really doesn't care what I do, but he would definitely have a problem if I was in a situation like she was, traveling all the time. Sadie, no one said she cheated other than you and Allison. So do you guys have something like you might want to bring to the table that maybe you think happened? Because I never said she cheated.
No.
In my marriage, I go out with my girlfriends and my husband doesn't care. Girls trip for the weekend. He is super supportive. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's your individuality.
Yeah.
Those are your friendships.
And I think it's awesome that her spouse is like supportive.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like he trusts her and he knows she's good and she's going to be safe.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And that's how my husband is. Like when I went to New York for Dateline, he didn't blow up my phone. He didn't, you know, want to know what I was doing every 5 minutes. You know, he gave me that space to do my thing. He knew it was important to me. He didn't make me feel guilty for going without him, even though New York City is like his dream trip. You know, you do that for your spouse.
Yeah, you do.
You celebrate their accomplishments. You cheer them on no matter what. And I think Chris was like her biggest freaking cheerleader. He did everything that he had to, you know, make that persona, that not persona, but that, what's the word I'm looking for? That
image.
Yes, that image that she was selling. Ooh, my stock just dropped.
Did it really?
Yeah. But it's all good in the news. But the latest thing that came out says COVID-19 vaccines pose potential side effects, doctors say. Well, no shit. What doesn't have side effects? Okay, I wanna get an
antihistamine has side effects.
Right. You take an Advil and it has a side effect. I want to know in chat, this is a little off topic, but put a 1 in chat if you're going to get the COVID vaccine when it is offered.
I'll give you my answer now. 00.
Put a
Heck
2
no.
if you're not going to take it. Put a 3 if you're like going to wait and you're undecided. 1 if you're going to take it. 2 if you haven't or you won't. And 3 if you're undecided. Chrissy said, hell no. Alternate juror said 1. See, look at all these people that don't want it. Enter
Yeah,
Light said 1. Lynn B said 1. Only way this will be over. I won't take it.
I won't.
I don't even take the flu vaccine.
Mm-mm.
I think that it's important maybe for the elderly, just like the flu vaccine is important for the elderly because like we talked about earlier, people are getting pneumonia. And obviously that comes from the flu. Usually the flu and the elderly turns into pneumonia.
Yeah.
The flu can be deadly to an elderly person. So I think it if it's safe and the trials are, you know, what they say they've been, that elderly people should get it. Like I would be an advocate for my dad to get it.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I'm still torn on it. Honestly, now that I mentioned my own father, I don't know. I feel like they came up with this vaccine very quickly.
No, I fully agree. Couple months. I mean, you're talking what, 7-8 months? And they're like, all right, we got it. We're in trial phase now. Oh my God.
Yeah, the medical workers are going to be the ones that are going to be required to get it.
Mm-hmm. No, it's like I still don't feel that we 100% know the etiology of this virus, like where it stemmed really from.
I'm so sorry, little miss. Was that proven to be because of vaccines that your son is no longer here? I'm really sorry for your loss.
Oh.
Almond Brown says, nope, she ain't getting it either.
Sister Knives, I'm not required to get shit.
Well, I'm not either. Google Inc. doesn't require me to get a COVID vaccine. It's not quick. Flu shots are made within 1 year, and they have to predict what strain will be in the next year. It's how vaccines work, but I don't get them. His first vaccination? Oh my God. That's horrible. Which vaccine did they pick out? Like which? I know you get a lot of vaccines at once. You get like 3. What if employer or school require you to get it? I believe with school, you can sign a waiver. If you don't want any vaccines, you can sign a waiver. I don't know about employers because like private employers can pretty much make up their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
Devil Mike says, I could go shopping and not wear a mask. Sure, but I'd get a fine. Not here in Florida, you won't. Some states, yeah. Michigan is on lockdown again. Or they're making their way back, yeah.
There's a lot of states now. Oh my gosh. My sister texts me. She's like, South Carolina's going in lockdown. My other sister's like, we're going in lockdown. Like, oh my gosh.
Not in Florida. Not in Florida. Thank God. I thought California did away with the waiver. You know what? I shouldn't speak for other states. I was in Michigan when I signed a waiver, so it's bad in England.
Oh yeah, didn't.
Yeah, we're in America. Like, I don't think there should be any fines, and that's what our governor said. I'm not fine. Like, he signed a blanket mandate or whatever that overrides all of the local precincts. Like here in Pinellas County, there's signs on every store. Mask must be worn, but they can't do anything to you because the governor has he said there's no fines going to be given to people not wearing masks. So
That's
they can
crazy.
tell you have to, but if you don't, there's nothing that's going to happen. Whereas before he signed that, the sheriff was actually coming out and writing tickets to people. People were calling the cops. And that was stupid too. Like there was someone down here who was having a party. They had like, I don't know, 10 people at their house, and their neighbor called the freaking police.
Wow.
Because they weren't supposed to have more than 6 or some shit.
It's just ridiculous. And when I'm not saying like they're in full lockdown, I'm saying like restrictions are coming. You know what I mean?
You're
like,
under like what? You have a curfew?
Yeah, here in Colorado, we can't be out past 10 o'clock to 5 a.m. because I guess COVID is vampirious. It's like a vampire. And we can't get booze past 8 p.m. So there's starting to become more restrictions leaning more towards a lockdown. Like we can't go to gyms.
Yeah. If those numbers keep going
only.
up, you're going to go backwards.
Exactly.
in the phases. Yeah. I just wanted to ask that. I just wanted everybody's opinion. I know a lot of people are afraid of it, and I don't blame them. But I did buy stock, so everybody do the vaccine. Just kidding. I won't get COVID shot until they have more info on side effects. Mama 3 says, I'm sitting here helping my son with online learning, and he and his classmate are talking about their PS4 games. Homeschooling is going great. Diamond Girl says, I think people should forfeit any COVID-related medical care if they choose to behave irresponsibly by not wearing a mask. So we should withhold medical care from people? That we don't live in China. I hate seeing this. I'm going to say it. I hate seeing everybody out and about with masks on. I feel like we're lemmings. I feel like we're all little lemmings, and like China's laughing at us. Like, look at those dumb Americans. Like, everybody's laughing at us. Look at them with their masks. I mean, do we really think that those masks are going to save us? No. Those masks that we're wearing are cotton. They have no filtering effects. It's ridiculous.
Well, and it's aseptic procedures. It's in all how you wear, and you think about, okay, if I touch this item at a store, this cart, and I touch my mask because I got to move it, you just contaminated your mask.
Oh yeah, people's masks are probably dirtier than the damn air.
You're right. Yes, you see them hanging from people's necks.
Oh yeah, they have them down. I see people walking around the store with them down, under their nose. It's just, it's an act to make people feel safe.
Yeah, yeah.
And if they work so well, why are you worried if I'm not wearing it?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I think they've touted it as the masks will keep you from spreading it if you have it. I don't see how that's even possible, because if you look on Etsy and all these girls are buying like these cute pattern masked, with all these cute little buffalo check and shit. And they're literally just made out of fabric from like Joann's. So they're saying that those like 90, what are those? The 90, what are those called?
N95s?
Yes, that those don't even like work. So what makes you think that a mask on Etsy or like some paper mask is going to like protect you or others? I just think it's, I don't know. I don't like being a lemmings.
When there's been so much confusion, when it first kicked off, people were saying, oh my gosh, don't do anything with Motrin. It's going to make it worse. And now they're saying Motrin's non-harmful.
Oh, you know what I mean? So but now they've changed the 14-day quarantine to 10. It's just, this is going to just keep evolving. But as we become these lemmings with these masks, I don't want my granddaughter to grow up in a society where everybody's wearing freaking masks. I mean, that is just not a way to live. It's not the American way, It's just not.
Well, and I mean, we kind of do have to build immunity.
Yeah.
You kind of have to expose yourself to different types of bacterium to build your immune system up.
I can't tell you. I picked up a mask, and this is sick to even admit, but I picked up a mask off the floor of my car because I've gotten to the gas station and went, shit, I forgot my mask. And there's one on the floor. Can you imagine how clean that thing is? Gross. Everybody's getting pimples around their chin and everything else. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, see, I don't like the masks. No. I mean, I'll wear one because we're the second highest county in all of Colorado, which is ridiculous. But
I went to Publix. I wear it too because, people look at you. But there have been times like I literally went to Publix and I forgot my mask. But they have them at the door. So they give you these paper ones. But like I went to Speedway and I forgot it. And I went in because I was like, I'm not going back home for a damn mask. I'm not doing it. So I went in there and the worker says, corporate's really coming down on us. Like they said that they're going to fine us if we have people coming in without masks. So now these corporations are getting down on these employees, these cashiers at Speedway about it. But it's just such a cluster.
It is.
See, in Canada, they're more accepting of the masks. I just think that America, we are really careful about mandates. I think mandates in America are it's a slippery slope, man. You start a mask mandate, what's the next mandate?
Exactly.
Oh, Speedway's a gas station, sorry. Kind of like Conoco. Oh my God, Miss H, I have a mask with a big penis on it.
Oh my God.
Okay. Cute. I bet the people in Publix love that.
I have my alibi mask that I got from J is for Justice on Etsy.
Yeah, and we gave away some masks in our Patreon giveaway. Hey, let's talk about Christmas real quick.
Yes, let's.
Okay, I'm going to say the game that I'm going to put together for y'all, and it's called Ho Ho No. So we're going to tell 3 truths and 1 lie, and you have to pick out the lie. It's a cool way for us to get to know each other too, right? So we'll take call-ins, and you guys can play Ho Ho No with us. And then Dre, what do you have planned for the holiday here?
Well, I did like the Watts trivia. It was a hit in Patreon. A lot of people were learning some stuff about the case, or some people already knew and was sharing with others. So I figure, why not us do true crime trivia, where it's a bunch of different cases? You know what I mean? Like little spin-off to the Watts, but do all true crime.
I think that'd be fun.
Yes.
So yeah, there's the link. If you guys want to join Patreon, it's $1. Everybody has the same perks. There are other tiers if you would like to support more, which is greatly appreciated, but not expected. But there you go. There's the link. If you want to participate, we do a lot of fun stuff. It's becoming more active, and I like that. I love the Patreon lives. I love them.
It's a lot more chill in there.
It is. So there's the link, you guys, if you want to join. The update on Daybell was put out yesterday. That's the latest and greatest. I think we have a hearing on January 6th for Daybell and Vallow. I'm not sure if hers is the same day, but
yeah, I'll have to check.
I know his is the 6th, and he's looking for a change of venue. And he wants the case dismissed, but
yeah, that's going to be
okay. Casey.
No.
Okay. Yep. We'll get for Christmas. We're bringing you guys. Casey has so gracefully set up Discord. So I don't know if anybody in here is familiar with Discord. If you are, put a 1 in chat. Why does Casey have that weird symbol next to her name?
It looks like a member thingy. I wonder if YouTube's broke though.
But look at Angela has the thumbprint.
When did she join?
Look at Casey only has it in that one post.
It did that earlier, and then it went away, and then it came back.
I saw someone with that last night.
Oh, now Casey's is not green.
Weird.
See?
Uh-huh. Weird.
YouTube's weird.
Repeat question. What was my question?
Discord.
Are you familiar with Discord? Do you use Discord?
Put a 1 in chat if you do.
Because for Christmas, J is for Justice podcast is going to Discord, man.
Go into the codes.
It's a super chat thing. Look at it. So many people use it. I am so out of the loop. All right. I really got to learn this. So how about this, Casey? How about me, you, and Dre set up a Zoom and we can walk through the Discord so that we all know what's what. Awesome. I thought a lot of people were going to say, I don't know how to use that. I'm just the one that's never given it a chance.
Yeah. I've been in it and, seen how it kind of works, but I don't really understand how it fully works. I was asking Casey about servers and she's like, it's J server. There's just rooms. And I'm like, I thought everything was called a server.
See, I don't even know that. So I guess what I'm wondering is, how does Discord, how does it help a podcast? Like, Oh my God. She says, you and that damn Zoom. How about we set up a Discord voice chat? Because I can screen share from there. Okay, I guess that'll be how I learn. So people are going live from Discord and it's going to YouTube?
That's what I took from it. Like you can promote from there.
Does that take away OBS or do you still use OBS?
I don't know about that.
Oh my God, Casey's saying I'm like an old person with the damn Zoom. Yes, you can stream from Discord. Oh my God, I've got so much to learn. It gives me anxiety.
Well, I will say though, the one thing that I do miss about your Discord is when RestreamBot would throw out the notifications. Sometimes YouTube, I don't get the notifications, but I was getting them with Discord.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, Jay's live. Why isn't YouTube telling me this? It would be Discord.
It's similar to Facebook Messenger. Rosebud, I'm an old person who knows nothing even about Zoom. I know, I just got the damn Zoom thing down, man. It's much more engaging. StreamYards. I don't know if I like StreamYards.
Oh my God, Mickey Barnes. I have IBS.
Yeah, so do all of us. You can have 10 people on stream at once with StreamYard. You can set up rooms with live chat. But why would I want rooms? That's what I'm wondering. Why do I want rooms?
Maybe for like a Patreon night for Patreon onlys and members only.
Discord is a great way to talk to your subscribers. So maybe instead of Patreon, like you said, it would be like like the live would be on Discord.
Yeah. So you could, yeah, like Devil Mike said, it's like Facebook with a group call. You would be able to be in voice chat with your Patreons and get kind of a one-on-one with them.
Okay, and Casey, I might need you to come on a live on YouTube and give a tutorial.
Yes.
We'll Discord live and give a tutorial and you can screen share for everybody.
Yes, please.
You can actually speak with people on the live. Oh, so people could call in. Well, they could call it on Zoom.
Don't say Zoom.
I guess I'm just wondering, why is it different from Zoom? Like, why is it better and more engaging? What makes it more engaging?
I think it's because like you can actually be more communicative with your subscribers on a personal level than with Zoom. It's like they have to call in, but in Discord, it's a private thing.
Oh, like they're already logged into their Discord. It's like their account.
And you can make it a private thing for like
Zoom.
Patreon.
Shit. I mean, all you have to do is make a Zoom account.
Yeah.
Rosebud, is that the thing with all the faces? I knew it was for gamers. That's why I'm just wondering, like, how does a podcast like benefit from having a Discord? It seems like one more thing I have to keep up with. I already have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Podbean. I guess I need to know how it benefits me. That's what I'm not understanding. Easier for people to connect. Amy, I got Moderna and Pfizer. I've got more in Moderna though. My bets are on Moderna. Chrissy, I haven't figured out Snapchat, let alone a gamer's channel. I know, right?
I don't even use Snapchat.
I deleted it. You know, someone logged into my Snapchat. I haven't even had that app on my phone in so long.
What? Someone got into it?
Yeah, I got an email. Yep, that someone logged into it. I was like, eek. I went and deleted it.
At least they said something, though.
I know. Casey, I already committed to running it for you. J is for Justice podcast. You won't have to do anything but talk to your supporters. Yay! Well, you know what? We're going to teach you. We're going to teach you guys. You're going to learn with me. So hopefully we all catch on.
Yeah.
I'm sure Casey's a good teacher. Thank you, Casey, for putting the time and effort into that and offering to do that.
No, for real.
It's few and far between that people actually step up and say, hey, I'll help you with this. Hi, Jeffrey. So I greatly, greatly appreciate it. A lot of people say they'll do things and it never happens.
Yeah.
Joining Discord is not a requirement. You don't, what do you mean? Meaning you don't have to join over there. It's not like you're going to miss out on lives or anything. Because you can watch the lives here on YouTube. Right? So it's not like if they choose not to use Discord, they're not going to miss out. It's just going to be an extra.
And like everybody's saying, your Patreons and members can have one-on-one with you. You know what I mean? So it's like a benefit to the exclusive side, you know?
Now, Amy, why you were cool about your last comment. Now, why'd you have to go and say that? We were just talking stocks and then you got to go bring up politics?
Well, it's funny how they wrote it. UB guys. Okay.
Yeah, UB4D.
UB4D. Bye, troll. Have a nice day, troll.
Bye, Shelly B. Have a great day.
Oh, Shelly B.
Right. I take that as a compliment, honestly. Does QI? Oh, I think she means Discord. Work on iPads.
Oh, I thought that was like another like social media network. There's so many now.
Oh, maybe it is. QI work? Eternal Flame, do you get paid for it? Paid for what? Discord? What? It's just a platform. The world would be a better place if more people help one another. Amen.
Amen, Linda.
Yep.
Yes.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda. Everybody.
That video is so cute.
Everybody better listen to Linda here. Does it work on iPads? Yes. I don't know if it does.
I think it does. I know it works on a Lenovo.
If it works on a Lenovo, it should work on an iPad.
It might work on a string and a cup if it works on Lenovo.
If it works on a Lenovo, it might just work on anything. You might be able to get out your transistor radio and pick up Discord. You might be able to hear people talking. The drama type channels have so many fights on Discord. Oh, I wouldn't have any fights. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, no.
Nothing but love.
Nothing but love over here. I think it'd be a great way, too, for people to submit cases. Like in a different room.
Yeah, I got an email, actually. Yeah, I have a case suggestion room. So those are like message boards, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, I mean, for the people that use it, it'll be a bonus.
Exactly.
I'll still have Patreon and all of that. You won't miss out on anything. Look at Casey's got that little thing again.
That little weird S thing or whatever that is.
Casey, you're possessed today. Yes, thank you, Casey.
She did an amazing job. Have you seen it yet?
I logged in, and that's as far as I got.
Well, when you get a chance, go look at everything. Like
I'm going to. When we get off here, that's what I'm gonna do. Hang on one sec. No, go ahead. You can read chat or whatever. I'm pulling something.
Oh no, I was just saying she did a really good job. That's a lot to set up.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a lot.
I thought I had it.
Well, for me,
I thought, see what I had? I thought it was set up. See, I want to bring some sound effects in. See, like for Casey, when I said, yes, thank you, Casey. Wait, let's try this. Thank you, Casey. Could you hear that?
No.
What do you mean no? Well, they probably could.
I can't hear it. Could they hear it?
I think they could hear it.
Oh, I think Casey did because she put lame-o.
What?
She put laughing my ass off.
Oh, I thought she called it lame. Lame-o. No, I like that little sound effects. I'm gonna see now I have more like time to do stuff. Like to bring extra stuff in, just to be an ass.
Well, and to make it fun. And girl, when you do your editing, there's times I catch things and I'm like, did she mean to put that? It's like an Easter egg in there.
I know.
In some of these videos.
I know. I love it.
And then I start laughing.
And then, you know what? I love reading chat. And, you know, people are like, oh my God, Jay, you know, they catch it. Cracks me up. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things in life that make you tick.
Exactly.
So anyway, yeah, looking forward to Christmas in Patreon. So if you want to join, again, I'm going to put the link up before we sign off here. And I want to thank everybody for participating in this conversation. I know it was a little edgy.
Yeah.
You know, and people jump to conclusions, but listen and hear us out before you jump to conclusions. Please.
Yes.
We're not bad people.
No, and man, biggest thing you can take away is see where your flaws are, see where your spouse's flaws are, address them, and love your family. Like, hold them tight, love your family,
Yep.
you know, because that's all you got at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I think that COVID has really made us realize that, you know,
Yeah.
being
100%.
being apart and being distant. So. Oh, it must have been really loud. They're like, I heard it scared the crap out of me.
Jay's keeping you guys on your toes.
Yeah, wake up. If you're at work, wake up. I'm going to schedule that Patreon, so I'll give you guys plenty of notice, and we'll put the link in Patreon. Can we have a boo like in Panto?
Like a boo for the soundboard. Boo.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Well, Dre, thanks for hopping on with me and being my guinea pig on this, whatchamacallit, reaction.
Yeah. No, you know, honestly, I was surprised. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be like something totally different, like a, you know, funny 911 call or, you know, something funny crime, but it was good. It threw me off. It kind of got me thinking, you know, and I'm glad that I was able to share with you guys. Like, if there's anybody out there that's going through something pretty horrible right now, or, you know, hear our story, you know, we're human too, and we make mistakes. And I'm glad that you gave me that opportunity to share with everybody that I've made mistakes in my marriage, you know? So,
yeah. And it takes, like I said, it takes a big person to admit that. Yes. It's not easy to admit that you've made mistakes or admit that you're wrong.
Exactly. So, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys liked this video, please give the thumbs up on your way out and enjoy the rest of your day. And be looking in Patreon for the next Patreon live.
Yes.
Look at Casey. I gotta go out with this. Discord has been known to serve as a dating app also. So for all you single ladies out there, but that might be an issue if we don't have any men in there. So the guys that are actually listening and not chatting, please join my Discord.
Yes.
So we will get that link in the description of the video along with everything else. You can find all my links in the description. So everyone have a great day. And Dre, you have a good day as well.
You too, Jay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.